Hey everybody, my name is Nathan Golliher, repairman, up here on the third floor at legendary Gruhn Guitars here in Nashville, Tennessee. I have a absolutely incredible instrument to share with you. This is an 1842 size 2 style 34. These are incredibly rare. This would have been made right after C.F. Martin left New York and went to Nazareth, where they remain now. C.F. was in New York from 1833 to 1839, and in 1839 went to Nazareth, Pennsylvania. They've changed shops a couple times, but they remain in Nazareth now. And this is an instrument that is right after he's starting to shed off the Stauffer influences and really starting to develop a style and an aesthetic that was really his own. We've lost the Stauffer style peg head and added the very elegant rectangular peg head and real ivory friction tuners. The peg head is also bound in ivory. As a matter of fact, everything that's white on this is real ivory, and there is quite a lot of it. Hand-carved ivory pyramid bridge, a stunning rosette with 2 ivory rings and alternating 1 and 2 pearl diamonds all the way around. Adirondack spruce on top, Brazilian rosewood back and sides. One of the most stunning features of this is before CF went on to build what we know as sort of the American guitar, a lot of his guitars after the Stauffer period were very Spanish influenced. And when you see this side seam here, this marquetry side seam, this is a Spanish. He didn't develop this. This has been going on in the Spanish gut string world for hundreds of years. But the sides are actually book matched as well, like the back. So if you can imagine heating up and book matching sides with no electricity, using a bending iron that was lit by hot coals in the 1840s, making an instrument of this quality was a real feat. And so this was one George had for some time. It was in very bad shape. It was so very, very dry. So one of the first things I had to do was reintroduce humidity back into it and start getting the cracks to close up slowly on their own, because if you get in a hurry and you want to start clamping things on an instrument of this age, the wood is so thin and so dry that you can end up causing more damage. So you really want to reintroduce humidity and let the cracks close up slowly. Aside from that, the bridge was off. Most of the bracing was laying in the bottom. And what took a lot of the time was the marquetry that you see on the side and on the top. There were big chunks of it broken out and missing. And one of the things George told me more than anything was, I want that repaired and I want it to look right. And that's what we do here. So I then spent a few months where we had pieces missing. There was a big section missing out right here, and I went back in and added real pieces of wood and dyed and painted everything and came back and color matched and made it all go away. I did that there, and then again on the top, right down here around the bottom, I made some pieces. And then spent the rest of the time getting this thing in good structural shape. This instrument was a real honor to work on. These instruments are why I do this. But again, everything that's white on this one is real ivory. And this one has been purchased by the Belmont Museum. So this one is not for sale. Belmont has purchased this. And this will be, I think, my 3rd instrument over there. So I'm very, very honored about that. And a neat feature that you won't see on newer Martins, if you want to come in close, is what is called the Spanish foot. If you look inside the sound hole up towards the neck block, you'll see a little foot right here on the back. And in traditional Spanish classical guitar building, the neck block and the sides actually went into the neck block, and then they came back and with a top and then back. And but this one has a traditional Martin dovetail, which he developed. And the Spanish foot is actually for aesthetic purposes only, but I still really like them. But again, a great instrument and a great almost one-of-a-kind piece. I would say the rarity of this, you could probably count on one hand how many of these there are, and this is probably the only one that's exactly like this one, with the through bridge and the no bridge pins. I did a lot of research, and there may be one other one like this. I'm not sure, but it looks amazing, and it's such a joy and an honor to bring these things back and make them whole again so they can live and tell the story of the great lineage of these great handmade guitars. And I'd like to play it for you so you can hear what it sounds like. I'm going to bring this over here. Thanks, everybody.